Okay, everybody, I've been really excited to bring this tool to you guys as a review. This is the Kwikset brand. This is for their SmartKey doorknobs and deadbolts. We're going to talk about some things I liked about the tool and the doorknob, some things I didn't like about the tool and the doorknob, and you're going to get a ton of bonus content in this video. So first, we're going to start with a quick installation. Okay, fast motion. One of the things right off the bat I didn't like is that Kwikset says for their doorknobs in the instruction manual, the keyway might be upside down, but yeah, that's basically fine. I don't love that. I think it looks like crap. I think it can cause some problems in the lock we can talk about later. So first up, let's say you do have a properly installed door latch with a dead latch mechanism in the back, that small button. We've talked about that before on the website. So if I use my shove knife tool to slip the latch from the pull side of the door, you'll see I get my tool in, whether it's on top or on the bottom. I've done this several times before on this door with a simple latch, but with a correctly installed dead latch mechanism, I can't get into that. So if you look here, we push that latch about halfway in, the dead latch, and then the main latch won't go all the way back into the door. It won't recede. So that's a good thing about this, about the doorknob and the installation. It's a good thing when it's installed properly so that just the latch falls into the latch strike plate hole and the dead latch stays outside. That is a huge problem in residential security and even commercial security. So let's also attack that same correctly installed latch and dead latch mechanism. Let's attack that from the push side of the door. So we take our commercial grade shim, and we know we've done this correctly on this door several times before, and we already know, since we did it before from the pull side, we know that that is installed correctly. Can't get in that way. Self-explanatory. Your under door tool isn't going to do much here. There are secret operational grade ones that can kind of affect doorknobs, but I haven't seen those yet, but you can bet I'll keep my eyes out for it. Bumping. I've had a lot more success bumping a lock when the keyway is correctly installed, upside up. This is upside down. I haven't seen a lot. I did some basic YouTube research. Didn't really find any good examples of anybody bumping this. It does say bump proof on the lock on the box, but that doesn't mean that it's bump proof. But I spent a couple minutes on it and couldn't get it. Picking the locks, I've had more difficulty picking upside down locks. I've heard of people picking these open, but I didn't spend a ton of time on it. I'm about a moderate skill level picker. I'm not the best. There's tons of people that are better than me. But I am pretty good, and I got almost no progress on this at all. I don't think I could have got it if I spent more time on it raking. Maybe single pin picking, I can do that later, but basically it's not the easiest lock I've ever gotten into. Still haven't accessed it yet with picking. So that's good if you have a correctly installed lock. That's good for this lock. It's a little bit above your basic security level. Now we're going to use the dumb force tool. We're going to insert a key blank. It's cut to a number 3 height for your Kwikset keys. I've been told that that keeps your pins at the weakest, the wafers in the lock at their most weak level. I don't know if there are wafers, but that's what the instruction manual I have says. So we insert the steel tool, and then we put our socket wrench on it. And it says with about 8 to 10 pounds of pressure, gentle pressure in the opening direction, it should open. Well, it doesn't. It popped the face of the lock off. Not great, just ruined an entire doorknob. So this turned into a $300+ article. I had to buy a new deadbolt and new doorknob. I figured I'd buy a 2-pack and try it twice. That cost me a couple bucks. I also bought a new ratchet set. The first one I used was a metric, so I thought maybe I screwed that up. Well, not the case. I also bought a standard ratchet with a correct fitting head. So since we have a deadbolt installed, we might as well get some bonus info here. So you can see if you completely lock out your deadbolt, you can't push it back in. But if you leave some space, like you open it all the way in just before you hit that locking click on your deadbolt, then it's susceptible to being walked back into the frame with something like a knife, where you just dig into the metal and shimmy it left, right into the frame. So this is with the door open. This would be from the pull to open, the pull side of the door. So we'll show it to you here in a second with the door closed. So you have a visible latch, you're on the pull side of the door, you have a visible deadbolt. So if you don't lock it out all the way, almost until you hear that click. You can watch that little knob rotate a little bit with that little shimmy of the bolt, and it'll walk itself back in. There are a couple ways to prevent against this, but a lot of people don't know about that.
All right,
so I plan on doing a lot more on that side of things, on the preventative side instead of the exploitation side of security. That's actually a big part of my book that I'm writing. Hopefully will be out this year, guys. I'm working really hard to get it out. So now I'm just going to let this play out on my second attempt.
A little bit of give, a little more give. Oh yeah, look at that turn. Come on, please work. Mother fucker.
So this is what we end up with. This is the second time in a row this has happened.
Okay,
Fuck it, we just installed a third Kwikset SmartKey knob. It's locked. We put the key blank in, put the dumb force tool in, we grab our ratchet, we put the dumb force tool in, there we go. We grab the ratchet, we set to counterclockwise, and if you know where this is going, we so far have wasted about between $200 and $300 right in this article. But here's the really good news about this. Here's some really big value. When you purchase a tool for entries and it says magic tool opens everything, it's not always fucking magic, and it doesn't always fucking work. This is really important before you take something into the field and you either damage property that you didn't intend on damaging. It's also really important that when you practice, you don't practice on locks that you rely on for security. So if this was my front door and I didn't have a replacement knob, I'd be fucked. So it's really important that you follow the TOOOL.org guideline. Only pick those locks that you have either own and or explicitly have permission to pick, and that you don't rely on for security. Thanks for checking us out. Please leave a comment in the YouTube video, and feel free to drop me a line at uncensoredtactical@gmail.com. Let me know what you think. Thanks.